You might find it odd how clean the shop is right now, which it doesn't happen that often. And Mao has taken over my stool in front of the sewing machine for the past few days. As it happens, I had cleaned the shop in preparation for a client to come by and drop off a large order of work for me. And, well, about the time she was supposed to show up, I got a message canceling. So, yeah. Given the fact I have a clean shop to work in, and given the fact I've got a project to work on, although I can't do her hair currently, I can do her clothing. Well, I got an unfinished top on her right now that was a leftover from several years ago. Order that, like today, is just never got finished. Client canceled it after it was started. Well, after it was almost done. But it turns out that client had the same measurements as this doll, so, well, she's wearing something right now. It keeps it out of the way. But what outfit should I put on this doll? I'm thinking the black corset with the shoulder straps and the skirt. Seems like that'd be the easiest thing to do, and I already got a stack of scrap fabric out that's black, so let's get to designing that. I got some usably large pieces of black fabric here. Granted, it's a corduroy, but, you know, it's a black fabric. Good enough, and it's what we got on hand. Some actually very large pieces, which is good. Makes for easier work, having lots to work with. So, next step, let's see what kind of a reference we got. We got a reference image here. Simple enough. It's going to be probably a zipper up the back, lace up over a vanity plate in the front, and shoulder straps, midriff end. Okay, that's not too difficult. I'll lay out a pattern quickly and then show you what we're working with. Alright, here's the 6 pieces we're going to need to make this top for Tonkenstein. Got the back, zipper's going to be here, connects onto the side plate, shoulder strap, lacing up the front plus a vanity, lacing up the front, so I'm going to have to put an eyelet plus a vanity panel. That's fine. Other side and the other end of the back. It's a relatively simple pattern, but it'll look good. So let's serge all those up and see what happens next. Okay. Now that I got all these pieces serged, lay them out here, see what they're going to look like. Next step, I could start at the front, put the eyelets and the vanity plate in, because there's not going to be a liner. I could do that and then zipper at the back last, or do the zipper first and do that last. But what I'm going to do before any of that is I'm going to attach the 3 pieces on this side and the 3 pieces on this side, so I have a general single piece that I can do like hemmed edges and everything else on. I'm not going to do the shoulder straps yet, so I want to make sure I have the right length for those after I try it out on the body. Doll. Okay, so I'll stitch those up. I'll show you what's happening with that. First thing, I'm going to change threads. Go to a black. Just, match the aesthetic. So I'll change threads. I'll start stitching those together and I'll show you what they look like after. Start working. And forget that I'm supposed to be recording. Just get you lined up here as best I can, show you everything's going on there. That's as good as that's going to get. Change the top thread to black. I didn't worry about the bobbin thread because it don't matter. And this is that two-way stretch stuff that we were using before, the corduroy we were using on the kilts. Never got kilt order that I had to cancel. And this is a very interesting curve I have to deal with. These crescent shapes on this pattern. It's a good pattern. I like it. You know, it's relatively simple, not that complex or difficult or anything, but it does present a couple of challenges. What do you want now? I already gave you treats. Yeah, this is going to be a standard stitch row and then top stitch. But because of this crescent point, there. Because of that crescent point, which you can see better from this side, kinda, there's going to be some interesting effects from that. Now this is the back. It means everything's going to have to go into the back. The fold here, where that is. In order to hide that, I got to put that into the back, which is fine. Let's do that. That means that's going to fold in like that. And there's going to be a 1/4 inch going to be a 1/4 inch top stitch. Make for some interesting curves where this thing goes together. Okay, I'll finish this. The other three are going to be similar. So, and the thread broke. Of course it does. It's a shitty black thread that I got, which is the only black thread I have that works on this machine at all. Let's see how it works out on the bottom. Not too bad. But, a shitty black thread. Rethread the needle. You can quit crying, baby. You already got your treats. You don't need to cry. Yeah. Just because I'm not paying attention to you right this second. Come on, get in there, you cocksucker. Okay. You've seen me do this type of work before. If you've watched any of my previous videos where I had to do a top stitch. But I thought this curve, this crescent curve, presented an interesting thing I could point out. Just the way that's going to curl up because of the crescent curve. So laying it flat is not going to be fun. Let's overlap this by say 2 inches, so about there. So I don't have to do another back stitch to start it. So there we go. So that one, and again, when you're cutting, cut the top first, pull it through at the back, then cut the bottom. So that's the first one, that's where the shoulder blade is. I'll do the other piece of that, and then the other 2 seams. I'll show you what it looks like in 2 pieces. Everybody always be careful. No matter how practiced you are what you do, you should always pay attention and be careful. I just stabbed myself with the unpick. So, blood for the blood god. This project will be successful. Happiness is work. Work is sacrifice. Sacrifice is expected. Don't look too bad. As I said, there's going to be a fold, a vanity plate in there. It could be called a vanity plate. It could also be called a fold, like the fold on the back of the kilts I was doing. It's just a piece of fabric that starts at this end, goes this way, loops back, and ends there down this whole length. So this will expand and contract and be able to be laced up the front. There's a zipper on the back. I'm not going to do a liner on this because it's not going on a person, it's going on a doll. So it don't need to be comfy, it just needs to look good. Much as clubwear that one would buy to go out dancing and drinking. It's not meant to be comfortable, it's just meant to look good. So I can pin that up on the doll right now and show you what it looks like so far. That don't look too bad. Looks better than it did before. Get her head straight there. Looks better than it did before with that red thing on there. Shoulder straps work. Back works. It is going to be hemmed, pinned, moved, trimmed, etc. It's also going to be cut about here. This is supposed to be midriff top, and this is a bit long. But yeah, not a bad first step. Like I said, until I can get her hair, I may as well work on her clothes. So, I think that'll do it for today. I'll talk to you next time.